Warning. 2 idiots are reading the SCP files over the intercom. Oh man, I'm so fired.
Hello and welcome back to Discovering SCP. We are back. Before we begin, I would like to make one thing fucking clear. This podcast episode does not take place in the same universe as the last 4. In this timeline, we continued reading SCPs through the month of October. Hence, this is now timeline B of the Discovering SCP universe. With that established, we can now begin. Hi, Darnell.
This is... Hi, Tanhoney. Golly gee, that was some Steins Gate shit you just said there. What does it mean? I hope he's not setting something up for the future.
That was the entirety of the bit, I'm afraid.
I thought we were just going to keep implying it's some like big thing coming and then never deliver on it. For like 8 years. Oh my gosh. Welcome back, guys, to Discovering SCP. A lot has happened. And by a lot, I mean not very much physically, but a lot mentally. I have been doing a lot of thinking and soul searching. If you couldn't tell by my Twitter, I have completely. I've worried.
You've become like an inspirational Twitter. Like you put those quotes on like pictures.
Sure, yeah, pictures of sunsets, of people riding horses, of babies with spaghetti on their heads. You can put them on anything. I've been reading a lot, and I've been thinking a lot, and trying to change my perspective on things. And I've been sharing some of those thoughts. But I might be coming across... I don't mean to come across as, like, pretentious or, like, as this, like, super wise guy. I just want to share the thoughts, but I've now realized that by tweeting all these things, perhaps that is how I'm coming off. So let's hope that is not the case. But if it is, oh well. In other news, there is news, right?
Yes, on the Pokemon official Twitter, they've posted a link to a website where you can view a picture of a treasure chest. We don't quite yet know what's inside the chest, but they've been updating it throughout the day. We're very excited to see how this turns out.
What if it's the One Piece? Like, it's just a collab of Oda out of nowhere. Yeah, it's not even...
It's a collab of Oda, and they reveal what the One Piece is in the Pokemon collab, not in the manga.
Yeah, you have to buy the Pokemon collab. It's like Kingdom Hearts, where you have to play the fucking mobile game to get, like, the origin of the lore, the mobile game that doesn't exist anymore. What if they did that? Could you imagine?
I think there would be an ending.
Would there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
To everything.
Where are we going with this? We need to switch gears. Enough of this. Do we have any real news?
I don't have any real news.
I
think there was like a Twitter meme about people not reading your SCPs. I thought that was kind of funny. I don't really have thoughts on it though. I just have sort of like a basic emotional response. I
think Dune released something, or at least a lot of people started talking about Dune's articles again, if it's not a new one.
Yeah, big Dune drama. Big Dune drama. Authors go mad at Dune. This is now clickbait.
I didn't see anyone mad at them. They were just like, wow.
Admin's going to ban Dune?
That's the thumbnail for this episode.
Me like with my hands on my cheeks. Surprised.
Oh my goodness. And they could never ban Dune.
It's impossible. His absolute rejection Pariah would repel it.
Where did you get absolute rejection
I thought of it.
Absolute rejection Pariah. Isn't that
there's a colon between rejection and Pariah, by the way. That's very important.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't there like a double negative? Because isn't a Pariah someone who's like rejected or controversial? But then rejected also implies that. So does it cancel out?
It's like absolute rejection, colon, Pariah. So it's part of the same name.
How did you say it like colon? It's colon.
That's what I said.
Alright, enough of this shenanigans. How many articles do you have for us to read?
We have one article today. But unlike all the last 4 episodes, it is an SCP.
I'm going to guess it's a really long one. Oh, no.
It's not that long. I just feel like I've gotten a better sense of how much we will actually read.
That's fair.
Give it up.
Alright, if it ends early, we'll pick one out of our ass.
Yeah. This is SCP-3935. This Thing a Quiet Madness Made by DJ Cactus.
This Thing a Quiet Madness Made.
My madness is loud, actually, and it's kind of hype, if I'm honest.
Does this have to do with his fantasy canon? Because it kind of sounds like some
I think it's not really that explicitly linked. I think all this stuff is like sort of a little bit in there, but this is sort of like
the
very
Cactus verse, if you will.
Yes. The Cactus cinematic Cactus verse.
There was a time a while ago, around when I first met you, Tan, and you had sort of like this universe in the thing we did together, and we called it the Tanverse, and I thought like you were the first one to do name a verse, And then I realized that's just something everyone has done since like the dawn of fandoms in time.
No, it was just me.
Yeah, you were the first one. Also, I just had a weird moment. I was staring at our Discord, and I forgot I don't have the Leorio picture anymore, so I thought, like, it was talking on your profile.
I was like, wow, this guy likes Berserk.
Okay, yeah, give me the link. Okay, I pull up. Give me the link.
I just heard it's on your side, the message dragon.
Oh, shit, my laptop's still open. Alright, that shouldn't come up again as long as you don't send me messages. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna turn it off.
That was perfect fucking timing.
I was watching Better Call Saul shortly before we met.
Oh yeah, how far are you then? What, like before we met for the first time?
I'm almost done. I'm like halfway through season 5.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I'm
so
pretty far. I just got to the part.
chicanery now.
Yeah, I do know chicanery. That's like probably one of the greatest scenes in fiction. Well, I'm sorry, but it is. Look, it doesn't have as high of stakes as some intense
to read something
media.
In this case, I posted this a while ago in the Discord. I don't think you had the context for it at the time, but I want you to read this out for me now.
Do you think this is... Oh. Alright. I am not crazy! I know he swapped those votes! I knew it was 10! One after the number of years I've been on the SCP Wiki, almost a third of my life! As if I could ever make such a mistake! Never! Never! I just couldn't prove it! He covered his tracks! He got that idiot at the SCP Wiki to lie for him! You think this is something? You think this is bad? This chicanery? He's done worse. That milk Jesus. Are you telling me that an article just happens to get upvoted like that? No! He orchestrated it! Darnell! He rated it a 13! And I let him, and I shouldn't have. I took him into my own podcast. What was I thinking? He'll never change. He'll never change. Ever since he was 20. Always the same. Couldn't stop being chuuni. But not our Darnell. Couldn't be precious Darnell. Cringing them blind. And he gets to be a co-host? What a sick joke. I should have stopped him when I had the chance. And you have to stop him.
DJ Cat is looking at you.
Yeah, he's the fucking bar counsel.
Apollo.
Sorry, I went on a rant there. That's one of my favorites. Have you seen the fucking... I'm sure you have. The edit with Ace Attorney?
Yeah, yes.
It's so good. I love the fucking flashback of when he lied to his wife. Alright, what were we doing again?
We're going to read an SCP, if I remember fucking correctly.
That was so... Did you write that?
I did ages ago.
That's so funny.
Cringing them blind.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Something about a cactus SCP. Oh, I have to sign in.
This episode is not going to recover from that. I hope you all know at home.
The title of this episode is now Chicanery. Hang on, sorry. Okay. I am logged into the wiki, ready to upvote or downvote. Ooh, Salvation High School? That's straight up an anime-ass high school name.
I wonder what the student council president's like. Item number 3935, level 3 confidential. Containment class Euclid. Destruction class Kinetic. Risk class Caution. You can tell this is a parallel universe because I said them all correctly. Salvation High
holy
School.
Shit. This really is timeline B. I thought that was just a joke.
This is the good timeline. The angel end. Special containment procedures. The town of Salvation, Indiana has been evacuated, and a fenced 2-kilometer quarantine zone has been established around the centre of the town. Roads leading to the nearby town of Eminence have been removed and rerouted. Foundation personnel to monitor all known travel routes into Salvation for signs of civilians. Any civilians caught attempting to enter Salvation will be remanded to the custody of local authorities. Cover story 3935.18, Hazardous Waste Disaster, is currently being disseminated.
I like that this implies there were 17 other cover stories they tried.
When I'm trying to write an SCP and I have something like this, I'm always trying to think of like a diplomatic way of saying cover story, because I always think like they wouldn't just say cover story; they'd have like some other name for it. But the cover story, it doesn't work. I have to admit.
To be fair, if you're a secret like organization that's not being like audited by anyone, you don't have to look professional to other companies. Who cares what words you use? You know,
this SCP is a fucking statue.
I guess maybe you could say fabricated alibi
or
something.
Cover story's probably best, to be honest. That's just my downfall. I was going to say shortcoming and...
Yeah, you're like fucking the Gus Fring of SCP, or Clean the Fryers again.
This guy watches one episode of Better Call Saul.
I watched 5 seasons of it.
Okay, show me. The building containing the SCP, Salvation High School, has been guarded by Foundation security personnel. Under no circumstances are any unauthorized personnel to enter the SCP. Individuals believed to be affected in any way by the SCP to move to temporary site 815 near Eminence for evaluation. It is currently believed that original inhabitants of Salvation are unable to reproduce. Deviation from this expectation is to be closely monitored. Exploration into the SCP is currently forbidden, due to the hazardous conditions within the SCP, and if any future exploration attempts are restricted to Class D personnel only.
Hold on, I got a little bit lost because of all the chicanery, but basically it's a town that no one's allowed to enter or leave, and the people can't reproduce anymore. That's all we know so far, right?
Seems to be the case, yeah.
Is this like Eldians? Did Zeke win in this timeline?
Who can say? What do you think it is? I know we've not done one of these for a while, so you probably forgot the format, but...
This seems vaguely familiar to that. I know there was one we read where there was like it was like you get slashed by a sword and you end up in a town, right?
Oh yeah, Solberg.
Yeah, so maybe this is kind of similar to that. That's all I got. Sorry.
Interesting. Description.
Like I'm still fucked up from your copy pasta. My brain
still
is like the wires got crossed.
Instant death disease last time. Well, no, that was a different universe. Sorry.
Yeah, that was time. Try not to.
This is like Bioshock Infinite. Again. Both canonies have been merged into one.
If you reference too many Mandela effect incidences, it's going to merge the timelines. So you have to be careful. Yeah. What's the? Is that what they call the Mandela effect in this timeline? Yeah.
There are many differences. I'll introduce them to you as we go.
Sure, continue.
As they become relevant.
I want to see where this goes.
Description. Oh, by the way, if you are scared of sudden audio, have fun with this episode. Description. SCP-3935 is an extratemporal, extraspatial, non-Euclidean space located beneath the Salvation High School in Salvation, Indiana. While the SCP is a designation of the specific anomaly mentioned above, it is believed that the anomaly currently affects the entire town of Salvation, as individuals have reported anomalous events taking place outside of the SCP as well. The full extent of these effects is not known. The SCP is reachable only through a collapse. Oh, I also pressed the leave button.
You know what's fucked up?
Yeah.
How come in fiction, right? It's like any anomaly or like circumstance, or like, for example, take the whole WandaVision thing, right? It's always a whole town. Why is it never something like less convenient? Like, why is it never 3 neighborhoods? Basement. Or like half a town? It's
always a very solid unit. I know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. When the town was arbitrarily created by people.
Well, usually the thing that... Well, in WandaVision, I imagine she's also a person, so she's operating when she does it.
Yeah, especially because even towns and cities are, depending on their nature, very divided.
No, they're perfect squares.
Yeah, they're always the exact same.
It's like The Sims. I've been playing The Sims recently.
All people behave the same in each neighborhood. Yeah, that's true. By the way, Sims 4 is free to play if you guys didn't know. I'm sure you've already known for a while, but... How is it... They don't make any money!
You try and get them into the Sims shop, wherever the fuck it is.
Anyway, Tan is into The Sims. He was supposed to give us updates on the DSCP.
I've not made that house yet. I've been making like other little families to test out the gameplay features.
Wow, cheating on the DSCP house. Give us an example of one of your families. Are one of them in Salvation?
Well, I've got like a little robot nerd that lives in the city. He hates his job.
When you say robot nerd, do you mean he's a robot that's a nerd, or
he's
like
a nerd that makes robots?
Okay.
He used to be a scientist, but he quit his job and became a streamer.
Oh wow. He just like me for real.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they've added VTubers to Sims 4 now as well. This isn't relevant at all. This isn't even barely relevant.
Do you have to have DLC? Because I don't remember any of that.
I've got some of the DLC, yeah.
This guy bought DLC, so it wasn't really free to play for him. Yeah. He fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
This isn't even barely related, so let's get back to the SCP.
Yeah. What were we at again?
The SCP is reachable only through a collapsed section of sub-basement beneath the Salvation High School, near the northwest corner of the building, below the school's pool, where I drowned my Sims. No, it is believed that the SCP was a source of anomalous activity that took place in Salvation High School in the mid-1970s, which was investigated and contained by members of the Federal Bureau.
Oh! Is this class of 76?
I think it's very loosely related, in that it's a class in 1976.
Right.
Which was investigated and contained by members of the Federal Bureau of Investigation Unusual Incidents Unit. Information pertaining to her investigation is available elsewhere in this file. The access points to the SCP proper exist roughly 25 metres below the collapsed section of basement, in a small antechamber containing a stone arch. The original creator of the arch, or how it became buried so far underground in the first place, are the subjects of investigation. Inscribed on the arch is a phrase in English, not believed to exist elsewhere in literature. The way below winds deeper, longer, unspeakable its patterns laid. The lost forever damned to wander, this finger quiet madness made.
I'll be honest. I mean, obviously this is in the universe of SCP, but I highly doubt these lines have never been written anywhere else.
Not even the individual words, these are new words. Doesn't matter that.
Well, like, I'm not being that specific, but like these feel like pretty generic, like fantasy descriptors. You know what I mean?
Never.
Of course. I'm so sorry, Cactus Sun.
Absolute rejection, Pariah.
Absolute rejection, Pariah is just Tan's like version of saying no. He's
New
like,
World Order is when I need to gaslight you. Absolute rejection, Pariah is for hostilities.
Yeah, it's just denial.
It's my attack.
Alright. So it looks like we've got quite a few addendums here. The first one's automatically open, but the rest we have to open ourselves.
Yeah, well, addendum 1, so that's permanent open. That's shoved open with a crowbar.
And that's Discovery.
Discovery SCP.
That's stupid.
The SCP was originally discovered following a series of paranormal events that took place in Discovery SCP. That's so fucking dumb.
That was probably your best joke of all time.
I'm going to go back. It was originally discovered following a series of paranormal events that took place within the Salvation High School during the week of June 18th, 1976. See addendum 2. Sometime after the end of the primary anomalous activity period at the school, the collapsed section of wall and floor leading to a narrow gap in the foundation was discovered by a member of the custodial staff. You used to do like custodial stuff in a high school, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
What would you do if you found a little hole to, like an ancient temple beneath the high school during your duties?
I wouldn't tell anybody because then I'd have to clean that.
It's like there's like a big saying like this thing quiet madness made.
Quiet Madness got architectural
chanting.
design. Be like,
that's not my job.
I'd put a poster over.
It ain't in the contract. The collapsed wall, which is located in an unspecified basement room below the primary basement, deteriorated even further until the gap in the foundation was large enough that a person could fit into.
Whoa, hold up! Foundation? Do you think that's an SCP reference?
Welcome to Discovering SCP. We're checking out the top 10 SCPs of the week.
Number 1, 3935.
This guy is really scary. He's a high school.
What is with those like channels like enunciating every consonant to its
Shall we? During an audit of the damage by a contractor, a member of the independent team accidentally slipped and fell into the antechamber near the SCP.
They call him Slippin' Jimmy. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Without to easily extract the individual, the supervisor encouraged them to proceed into the SCP a short distance and see if there's a way out. When the individual did not return from the SCP, a search was conducted by members of the contractor team and local authorities. When only 2 of the 11 individuals who entered the SCP returned to the antechamber, when they began to give accounts of their experience within, Foundation personnel embedded in local authorities took over the investigation. Over time, anomalous activity began to become more common outside the high school and Salvation. After the events that took place in June 1976, the town was officially condemned and the entire populace, no more than 1,400 people, was relocated.
A small-ass town.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question. Has a new king or queen of England been crowned yet?
Well, it's going to be King Charles if he makes it to the coronation, but he's not actually been, I don't think it's official yet, but he's basically the king.
Okay.
Well,
now, let me propose an idea to you. If I go to Buckingham Palace and I pull a Slippin' Jimmy, can I sue the crown?
Probably not.
Or are they, immune to legal repercussions?
They can legally kill you. No, that's not true.
Can they? I don't know. Might be.
I don't know. I can't, man.
Magna Carta specifies that
You're like, Mr. Charles, why don't you start paying me those taxes that are due from so long ago? And he's like, absolute rejection, Pariah. I wear the absolute royalty crown. It gives me authority over all matter.
There are like... There's like 8 different titles this episode could be. Absolute rejection. Pariah. I just keep imagining with the fucking Leorio face. Like, that's the activating face. Alright, we're on
I imagine, like,
right?
it's like a really cool anime scene where, like, the screen goes all staticky when he says it to show how powerful it is.
Alright, oh god, these are big.
Shall we popcorn between these?
I'll do this one.
Well, I mean, like, it's a big one, so we'll popcorn bits of it between us is what I meant.
Oh, sure. Do you want me to start or you got it?
You start.
Top secret. Federal Bureau of Investigation Unusual... I don't like Federal Bureau of Investigation Unusual Incidents. It should either be investigation of or of investigating unusual incidents. I get it, but... Federal Bureau of Investigation... Oh, I see. Federal Bureau of Investigation, comma, Unusual Incidents Unit. Now it all makes sense.
Now I know.
It's coming together.
Now I understand.
The following is a comprehensive report detailing paranormal activity that took place in the town of Salvation, Indiana, between June 18th and June 23rd, 1976. Agents Carter, Wilson, and Hughes dispatched to site of reported activity. Substantial paranormal activity encountered. Additional resources requested and employed in cover-up of paranormal activity. No reported involvement by SCP Foundation or its agents. No reported involvement by a global occult coalition or its agents. No reported involvement by any other notable entities or their agents. After ascertaining the scope of the reported paranormal activity, dispatched agents applied doses of chemical 110. Footnote. Early UIU amnestic, basically.
Oh, this is
the entire.
That probably was going to be important later, so we want to just have a look at it.
An early model UIU amnestic, similar to the discontinued Foundation Class Silver amnestics, now replaced with the Y909 Class B amnestic, notable for its toxicity and tendency to cause severe damage to human memory centers. Oh, this is going to be the Gaslight SCP. To the entire population.
Let's go, girl bosses.
I love you say that with the image of the cheerleaders. All inhabitants accounted for and moved to processing center in Indianapolis for further analysis. Quarantine established around Salvation. After extensive interviews of the population of Salvation, the following timeline of paranormal activity has been constructed from these eyewitness accounts. Why is Salvation capitalized every time?
I think that's the name of the town.
Yeah, but you don't capitalize names of towns.
They did
you don't even fully capitalize states. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's an FBI thing.
Those FBI boys ain't right.
Sunday night. 10th grade students Diane Beasley and Cassandra Thompson report hearing what they described as someone trying to speak under the ground when passing by the high school on their way home from a Sunday night church service. Miss Thompson reports this to her mother, who ignores it. Monday.
I imagine it's like you're walking around with a suit and tie. It's a fucking Twilight Zone intro. Welcome to a world of unparalleled possibilities.
Ohio. During gym class, 11th grade student Oliver Baker claims that he can hear voices coming from underneath the pool. Have you... Never mind, that's too off topic. I'll bring it up later. Several
Have you been in the pool? Is what you asked me?
Story. No,
I have.
They keep talking about this thing talking underground. It made me want to bring up false Hydra, but that's like a whole other tangent.
I've heard about it vaguely.
It's a very cool concept that I will tell you about later because it's going to distract too much. When school officials come to investigate, they do not discern anything unusual. Notably, the lining at the bottom of the pool appears cracked. Several female students report seeing faceless things instead of their own reflections in the mirror of a second-story bathroom during a passing period. They do not seem bothered by this. Isn't that kind of like the bodies in the water one?
Maybe.
During lunch announcements, many students describe being able to hear a third voice, footnote, alongside the two announcing students, speaking unintelligibly below the broadcast. The PA room sits in a media center near the pool, less than 40 meters from the entrance of the sub-basement room and collapsed wall. This is how I know this is fake, because the FBI would never use meters.
Well, maybe they understand. What if it means miles?
40 miles? Jeez, that'd be pretty far.
It's the only explanation.
Okay. Go ahead, popcorn.
Tuesday. Students arriving to a school notice that the Indiana state flag is more than 3 meters above the top of the flagpole, attached to nothing.
There's no defending that.
The American flag is not found. It's too far. When observed, students claim that they can also see 9 female figures hanging by ropes from the flagpole, which disappear immediately after being seen. During a freshman biology class, one student suddenly stands, is seen rolling their eyes back in their head, and descending suddenly into the floor and out of sight.
It just sounds like Tan trying to get out of a science test.
They appear shortly later above a ceiling panel in the corner of the room. Despite being unable to identify the students, several of his classmates insist it was just a joke. This student is not accounted for in the attached Salvation Population dossier.
No.
Several students describe seeing a student they did not recognize at the school on Tuesday. When pushed to give details of the student's appearance, none are able to do so. Apparently, the only defining characteristic of the student was a purple satchel with the word syncope written on the side. Syncope written on the side in white embroidery. A custodian reports seeing something standing at the bottom of the pool, staring at him.
I actually don't remember what the word syncope means.
It's like a musical term. It's a class of 76 thing, but it's like a musical term, if I remember.
It's also another word for fainting or passing out.
Oh dear. Wednesday. Upon arriving at the school, maintenance staff and the custodians note that there is a full 2 inches of water across all levels of the school. Inexplicably, the school's principal, Dr. Irvin White, decides to not close the school. At 7:56 a.m., the entire school hears someone whisper the word, "Hello," in their right ear. Nonetheless, please make that come from the right ear, if you could.
It was just a joke. That was me, though.
That was me. I did that.
Yeah.
Members of the school band realize that their instruments no longer produce any sound. However, when played, there are students report seeing a small, black, human-shaped thing flickering in and out of view in the corner of the room, facing the wall. One student, Ivor Leadway, witnesses a dark figure walking up and away from the school through the air at a possible angle. Eventually, the figure disappears from sight and is never seen again. No other students address this. Thursday. During a gym class, senior Nate Bennett avoids a dodgeball when it phases through him. As he begins to sink into the floor, he screams for help. Nobody who's noticed seemed motivated enough to help him. The entire school shifts up roughly a foot off its foundations at 11:23 a.m. The vice principal sent to inspect it describes something small, with too many faces, grinning at him from underneath the building, before the school slowly resettles. The boys' locker room disappear and are replaced by something that screamed. Witnesses are unable to provide any further details. As the students leave the school for the day, they see 9 young women hanging in the air, tilted forward at a 45-degree angle, roughly 25 meters above the school's parking lot. They can be seen silently mouthing words. All witnesses describe their appearance as ugly and unremarkable. They vanish at approximately 3 p.m. The majority of all residents describe hearing a child's voice say the word, "Hello," like fucking Five Nights at Freddy, below them at the time. "Hello." A panic ensues as town officials have no response for the women in the sky. The principal decides to close the school on Friday.
Nice.
And I'll popcorn to you.
The entire student body shows up for school on Friday. Being unable to get into the school due to the doors being locked, they assemble outside the front door and wait. No individuals in this group could describe why they were there. There is a knock on a window, and the entire student body sees a small, black, humanoid form standing outside of a second-story classroom. The figure begins to phase in and out of the window. The figure disappears, and then begins to phase in and out of other windows. Witnesses describe its movements as jerky, erratic, and spasmodic. The figure disappears, and the front door unlocks itself. The student body enters the school. The interior of the school has become non-Euclidean. As the students approach the back of the space, they realize they are moving down, not into. All students now hear whispers, and some at the edge of the group hear drums in the distance. In the distance, they see the arch. See, this is the part where if this was Aetherall Space, I would tell
you
them.
would like stop beating me
twice in a row. Yeah. In the distance, they see the archway leading to SCP-3935. Suddenly, the entire mass of students shifts 50 meters outside of the space and are suddenly encased in rock and earth. The students spend roughly 20 seconds trapped in this area before reappearing back in the school. All students report being the only one in the building and, after wandering through the hallways for a short time, coming across a doorway below a doorway and entering the small sub-basement room. Inside, the students report seeing 3 separate visions. A woman crouched over a body of water, blood surrounding her feet and her arms extended into the water up to her elbows. A farmhouse in the middle of a grove of trees that is burning while 9 humanoid figures hang in the air overhead, and a weeping woman digging in a field until her hands begin to rot and fall apart. Once the visions subside, the small black humanoid appears. Students hear the entities say the word, "Hello," again, are immediately surrounded by 9 screaming female figures, and then are suddenly in their own homes. As additional agents begin to enter the town to apply amnestics to the subjects, additional anomalous activity is reported around the town. Several individuals report seeing bodies hanging in the sky. Several individuals report turning on their taps and human hair and mucus flowing out instead of water. Several individuals report feeling as if their facial features had disappeared entirely, while several others, Cactus, gonna dock you a point for that, reported seeing faceless creatures in town. A completely still black humanoid entity is seen frantically appearing and reappearing in rapid succession, up and down the main thoroughfare in the town. One unidentified woman reports witnessing a weeping young woman running back into the school building. After following her into the now unlocked sub-basement, she is unable to find the young woman, but is the first to report the collapsed floor. Over the next few days, UIU amnestic regimens begin to take effect. Most townspeople are readily convinced that the things they saw were hallucinations as a result of toxic gases blown south from a factory to the north. At the end of the next week, contractors assessing the damage to the school discover the sub-basement room, as well as the entrance to SCP-3935. Foundation involvement begins shortly thereafter. So it's not the town, it's the basement that's the SCP.
Well, we don't know. The basement seems to be affecting the town, maybe.
The next one is really... Tan, do we have time to read this all today?
Yeah, we're only half an hour in.
Oh, okay. Wow, it felt way longer. Okay, who do you want to be and who should I be?
I'll be Porter.
I'll be Ellis. Do you want to be Haskell or should I?
Sure, I'll be Haskell as well.
Alright, I'm Ellis, right?
Yeah. I'll be Porter and Haskell and you're Ellis and the writer.
3935.3 Initial Exploration and Recovery Log. Note, the following log is a transcription of audio and video recordings gathered from the initial...
We also have a picture of the black humanoid entity.
Only known image of black humanoid entities. Oh my god, this is like a YouTube thumbnail.
Sorry, Jack's pointing at
it. Do you see him?
Did you see it?
That's so good. Begin log. Is it alright? Alright, mic's hot. Let's go.
This guy's the protagonist.
Agents Ellis, Porter, and Haskell enter 3935. Each is equipped with a shoulder-mounted torch, which illuminates upon entering the space beyond the archway. When did Cactus become British? Alright, this is in Indiana. It's in the 70s in America. So why are we using torch and meters? What is happening? What is happening, Cactus? Okay, did you betray us? I'm docking a point for this.
Sorry.
Inaccuracy.
Looks like we got another one.
Do you think a colony so fresh on its independence would be using its oppressors' terms so freely?
Colony. Without Washington, you're just a little club.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so first things first.
Give back those citizens you've been borrowing.
Alright, so first things first. There's definitely something happening back here. The walls are getting pretty tight. Stay close.
Oh, stepbrother.
What are you doing, stepbrother?
Hello. Can you feel that?
What?
Yeah, feels funny. Yeah, on the walls. Look.
Shoulder-mounted torch illuminates the wall next to Agent Haskell. Images are carved into the rock, similar to a child's drawings. Come on, I think I feel a breeze. Might be an opening up here. Team continues to push through the rock tunnel.
Jesus, these can barely move. The walls are too close. Ellis,
Agent Porter's camera suddenly goes black. A moment later, it appears to be looking up at 2 sources of light, likely Ellis and Haskell's torches, as Agent Porter falls. Go on.
What? I just did.
Oh, I didn't hear it on my end.
I was doing fucking Looney Tunes Tom and Jerry screaming.
It didn't come through from me. But... what the fuck just happened? Porter? Where? I can't turn around. Where is he?
I hear something coming behind us. We need to move. We need to move, man.
Both agents struggle to continue forward, the tight space continuing to impede their movement. After a short time of struggling, both men fall forward into a larger open space. Jesus Christ, I can't... Where's Porter? Porter?
He's not behind me. Can you see him in there? Silencio.
Okay. Well, my aether's been disabled.
She's nearby.
Reference for you. We need to get another team down here. He might have fallen in a ravine or something, or slipped back there, or...
Ellis. Look!
Both men turn... This is the worst script reading of all time. No, I'm not insulting you, it's just we're both bad at this. Both men turn around and illuminate the space they're in with their shoulder... Look! The space they're in with their shoulder-mounted torches. In front of them is a massive structure, seemingly carved out of the stone around them. I love how distrusting that statement is. Seemingly stone, but who knows? A thick fog covers the entire chamber. Beyond the fog, dim lights are visible in openings in the structure. It is impossible to determine how high or low the structure extends. The structure is only reachable via a narrow stone bridge that extends across a large chasm between the agents and the far wall. Is this the high school? Why does it look like that?
Yeah, the geometry isn't right, but yeah, look there. That's the main entrance. There's another door there, yeah. This is the school. There's another one below it. And one below that.
This only happened for like 5 days, right?
Well, the weird stuff outside happened 5 days. This stuff is just there now.
How far down does this go? Are there any other... Both men pause. Appearing over the bridge in front of them are 9 female humanoid figures, their faces obscured by long white hair. They do not move. Are these like the fucking demon generals of 76? Who are these 9 women? Hang on! The 9 entities hang in the air for a short time, before suddenly appearing 10 meters backwards, and then another 10, and then right in front of the door to the subterranean school structure. The faces of all 9 suddenly become visible, and although they are not visible on the recording due to the distance, both agents noticeably recoil. Afterwards, all the entities disappear.
Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! Holy shit, what was that?
Alright, God, we're not ready for this. Wait! There's the sudden sound of many voices speaking in hushed tones in the distance. Both agents react at the sound.
The search team! Survivors?
Come on, let's go! Both agents cross the chasm bridge leading towards the non-Euclidean replica of Salvation High School. Upon entering, they find the main concourse of the school. No other entities are visible within.
Porter? Anyone? Is there anyone there?
I feel like Jesus. Wow, narcissistic one? No, I'm kidding. I feel like Jesus. You feel this too?
I do, my child.
You're looking at the whole... Turns around, he's got the beard and the hair and a robe. I'm feeling quite milky today.
Something isn't right.
You're looking at the whole... like you're...
He's part of the team.
Yeah, he's been there the whole time. Like you're looking at the whole room all at once.
Yeah, it's the walls don't make any sense.
Have you seen that meme of like Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk like talking and it cuts out every time he curses? Yeah, it's the fucking...
Why do you come?
Yeah. Come on! I hear the voices down this way. Let's go! Both men move quickly down the closest hallway. As they do, doors on either side of the wall are visible. Although neither agent seems to notice, faces are occasionally visible through the glass panes in the doorways. They are impossible to make out. Here, this is the door to the auditorium. I'll bet they're in... Agent Ellis opens the door. As he does, his video recorder disconnects. Agent Haskell screams and scrambles backwards. The voices increase dramatically in volume, and from Agent Haskell's perspective on the ground near the door, 9 female figures appear around Agent Ellis. Their movements are erratic, and their bodies are contorted into impossible positions. They close on Agent Ellis, and the man and the figures disappear.
Oh, fuck. Fuck. Ellis. Come on, fuck.
Agent Haskell stands and begins to run away from the door. As he reaches the end of the hall, he looks back over his shoulder and sees the 9 figures approaching.
Oh, fuck. No. Hello? Is anyone there? Help me, God! Please help me! Hello? Fuck me, please! God, help!
This guy is so horny. Agent Haskell turns again to see the 9 figures in the hallway behind him, though they are no longer moving forward. Instead, they hang in the air, unmoving, as Agent Haskell's pace slows. He watches them for a moment and then stops. His breathing becomes quick.
What? What do you want?
Agent Haskell turns slowly to look behind him, and upon turning is face to face with a small, black, humanoid creature sitting upside down on the ceiling of the hallway. The creature has no discernible features, but its presence creates significant visual distortion in Agent Haskell's camera. Can you do the fucking Jigsaw voice?
Hello.
There's a loud, low sound like a bell tolling. The sound continues for 20 seconds. The video feed for Agent Haskell goes dead. The audio feed begins to experience severe distortion, as if the signal is being drawn out over a longer period of time. There's a snapping noise, and then the feed goes silent. All 3 signals are quiet for some time. Eventually, all 3 radios begin responding again. Just wants to be! Wouldn't you like to just be? Yeah, we all would die. We all would die. No more of the 9, we all would... They're back! Silence for 81 minutes.
Wall's like every other wall. This hall is like every other hall. Down and down and down. No more please. No more down. Can't go down anymore. Can't go.
Silence for 18 minutes.
Ella's God, can anyone hear me? Does anyone know who I am? I can't see the light anymore. I can't see. Oh God, it's only dark. It's only dark down here. I just want to see the light again.
Silence for 9 minutes.
Stop, whoa! The temp is the man that's walking up. There are 9, but the temp is down below. God, please just make it.
Silence for 9 minutes.
Oh!
Silence for 9 minutes.
My dog is concerned. It goes on forever. It goes down forever. We're in here forever. Just more of the 9, more of salvation down forever and ever. None of them got out. None of them got out. None of them got out.
I think you skipped like 2 paragraphs.
No. Oh, I did actually.
Who cares? It's more the same.
Oh my God.
Unidentified voice through Porter's radio.
Hello.
No more transmissions from any of the 3 microphones received after this point. Possible exploration attempts into 3935 using Class D subjects are forthcoming. Wow. I don't know how to feel about this one so far, not gonna lie. Maybe I'm missing a lot of Class of 76 context, but a lot of these like Class of 76 articles just feel like... do you think I should save my thoughts for
maybe for the end, yeah.
Yes, okay. Okay. We're on addendum 4. At least this is a short one. Do you want to read this?
Yeah, sure. Anomalous activity in Salvation. The following are incidents of anomalous activity in Salvation, Indiana, reported by staff during the Foundation's occupancy of the town. Reports of a figure dressed as a UIU agent who tries to direct individuals towards the high school. This figure disappears to observe for too long. Agent Willis has reported seeing a small black figure sitting underneath his vehicle upon approaching. After looking beneath the vehicle, the figure was not there. Afterwards, Agent Wills reports always seeing the black figure in his peripheral vision. Many reports of sounds coming from a grove of trees near the high school. Examination of the grove returned only a dilapidated 1-bedroom house and 9 data expunged in the backyard. The appearance of 9 hanging female figures drives off the exploration team. Further examination of the grove was unable to locate the house. After dark, many agents report seeing 9 female humanoid entities, with extremely distended features or no features at all, jerkily moving towards them in the dark, only to slide into the earth or fade away before reaching them. Several reports of similar figures up in trees. Reports of several bodies, no more than 9 at a time, that float up from the bottom of the small pond outside the town and rest at the earth as the water before sinking and disappearing, likely connected in some way to the 9 data expunged that appeared behind the house in the grove.
Alright, and then lastly we have an interview with a person of interest. We have Agent Ames and Mrs. Fletcher. I want to be Agent Ames because that means I don't have to be the one that exposits. You have to be the expositor.
Okay, dearie, I'll do it for you.
Begin. Oh, sorry.
There's a picture of me as well.
The following interview was conducted by Agent Ryan Ames in 2002. The subject, Mrs. Valerie Fletcher, was a teacher at Salvation High School during the period of anomalous activity in '76. Image of an unidentified figure in the sky collected from UIU report. And it's like a white figure with lightning in like an otherwise dark sky.
Okay.
Can you tell me about your time at Salvation?
Oh, well, you know, I already told you about the memory loss. Just can't seem to string anything together anymore. Likely due to the experimental amnestic chemical 110 utilised by the UIU in the 1970s. I was a teacher, though, see. I taught English, I believe, and yes, I was at Salvation for some time.
What can you tell me about the town? Anything you remember that stands out?
Well, it was quiet, you know. One road in and one road out. We didn't get many outsiders, so we were a pretty tight-knit community. I don't think we even had police, you know, because who would need them? Well, we didn't have crime, not really. There were always some people who would tell stories, you know, they...
Yes.
What? Hello? Hello?
This is just us when the mic cuts out. You were just talking about people telling stories, Mrs. Fletcher.
Oh, the young people would go out into the woods and get themselves all riled up about whatever spook or spectre they thought they were seeing out there. There were some things that were strange. I don't know if they were actually strange or if it's just my memory giving me trouble again. Like, sometimes you'd be driving down the streets and you'd see someone standing on the side of the road waving just like this. And you'd look back and nobody would be there. I think it was just the kids playing pranks on people.
What about at the high school? Anything strange ever happened there?
High school?
Where you were a teacher. Salvation High School?
Yes, I was a teacher. I taught English, I think.
Do you remember anything strange happening at the school?
No, I mean nothing out of the ordinary. We did have a child disappear once, I think. The last she was seen was by the pool, and nobody ever saw them again. I think they ended up saying they just ran away. Some of them were problem children, you know, trouble, and there's just nothing you can do. Maybe it was better for them, I don't know. There were a lot of people in Salvation who had some strong opinions, and some of them didn't sit very well with the young people.
What do you mean?
Oh, you know, the children was very important in town. We had a few and almost everyone went, but we had, if I remember right, there was one girl who got pregnant, I think. I'm sorry, what we were talking about? I can't seem to... Hello?
A girl who got pregnant.
Yes, he's so menacing. He's like, pregnancy. He can feel his pressure. I hate
r/child free.
Yes, out of wedlock. It was quite a scandal. I don't remember what happened to her, but I know a lot of people were very upset about it. You know, I don't remember that girl's name, no, but I do remember her coming to me one time and asking about something strange she had heard. She was pregnant out of wedlock. It was quite a scandal. It didn't want the boys to see, but she said she was sitting on the bleachers and kept hearing a knocking, like somebody hitting some. She didn't want the boy didn't want them to.
Mrs. Fletcher?
I'm sorry, I'm just so all over anymore. She said she would see things sometimes too, but I don't know anything about that. She also, well, I don't know if I dreamed this or not, but I remember her saying hello to me too many times, all at once too, not like a greeting, like it was the only word she knew for a moment, like it was all she... Hello?
Oh, she's been saying hello this whole script too. Is there anything else about Salvation you remember?
It all blurs together after all this time. I seem to remember there was one time when somebody found a girl, maybe the same, well, I don't know, but they were strung up in the woods, like hanging. I think they called it a suicide, one of the girls who did cheer, you know, but it was somebody who, well, I don't know why they do anything like that. They had a note, they had written with, a note in their hand. Actually asked me to look at it, see if it was the same handwriting and everything.
What did it say?
Oh, well, if I remember right, it was on one side they had just like a drawing, like a building, but strange somehow. I don't remember why. On the other, it was just a word written over and over again. I don't remember what it was. I think it was wet or something. You couldn't make it out. There's the end of Discovered SCP.
That word has a meaning outside
Okay.
of the meaning. You're good.
Very queer, now that I think of it. What a strange thing to write just before you die, don't you think?
Do you remember anything from the week you were evacuated?
No. Well, I mean, the vapors were very strong that week from the factory. They said we might experience hallucinations. I definitely did saw some things. I saw, well, there was one day I imagined a child floating backwards into a wall and then they suffocated. I heard him screaming and pounding against the wall. We all did. It was a strange hallucination. He stopped. I'm sorry, what am I doing here again?
We're just talking, Mrs. Fletcher. I'm here with the insurance company. You were talking about the hallucination, remember? About the boy in the wall.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, I just don't remember quite so well anymore. The hallucination, though, I saw that boy go in and then we didn't hear anything else. Now that I think about it, that's very peculiar. The hallucination was very clear. He cried for a long time and seemed so afraid, but well, I don't seem to remember it bothering me. I think it must have been a prank.
Oh no. One last question,
For
Mrs.
TikTok,
Fletcher.
you know.
After the earthquake, they found a room underneath the basement near the pool. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't. Nobody ever went into that room but the janitors, I think. Just storage. Though, you know, I think that girl asked about that room once, said she heard some things coming from it. She was very interested in it, I think, right before either way. But I don't know. I might not be remembering that night. I do, some of the hallucinations, you know, they told us not to think about them anymore, but so I do try not to. But I know some other people who have, and they aren't doing very well anymore.
Thank you again for your time, Mrs. Fletcher. Actually, before I go, do you think you know anything about this? Shows the subject an image taken of the 9 unidentified female figures. At this point, the subject becomes noticeably pale and short of breath.
Well, yes, I do. Those are that's the cheerleaders. There were, let me think, there were 10 of them, though, I think. Unless something happened to one of them, there were definitely 10.
So I think this is implying, because they said the 10th one was below in the script of the exploration, and that led to madness. That's whatever happened to the 10th one is what caused all this shit to happen. Right? Or am I crazy?
Maybe.
I will say, I liked this a lot more than Autopapadopoulos. I felt in Autopapadopoulos, it was a lot of showing you really vague stuff and then a ton of exposition at the last second. This one, there were a lot of seemingly random events, but there was, repeating ideas and imagery throughout the addendums that I think the last addendum did a good job of sort of connecting. Not enough to give it an exact solid story, though. I think that's actually in its strength, but to give you this vague idea of what could have happened, put some ideas in your mind, get you thinking about how it's all connected. And I like how this was written far more than Autopapadopoulos.
Nice.
I think it kept it interesting. I was going to say earlier, although the last addendum kind of cleared up my problem with that, but I feel like a lot of a class of 76 stuff we've read, or at least from what I remember, what you see of it in media, is just random phrases and things happening. But this sort of gives an idea, even vaguely, of a larger picture that caused everything to sort of happen. Does that make sense? Am I just talking in circles?
No, I get it. I get what you mean.
It's sort of it paints the idea that something happened that's causing all of this, rather than just generic, crazy, random, glitchy world effects, which I really like. So yeah, what were your thoughts on it?
I like it a lot. It's a lot more for the vibes, I think, than any sort of solid, narrative, because everything's already happened. We're basically picking through the pieces of it in the story. I just think it's really cool. The vibes. What the fuck am I talking about? Hello? He got me.
Another thing that's interesting.
Empty.
That image of the.
We're fucking infected by something.
Sorry. Another thing that's interesting. If you look at that image of the cheerleaders, I didn't notice at first because of how small it was on the page, but I just opened it in a new tab, and all their faces are erased, and not just there's a blank. It shows the background behind them.
Interesting.
which is very interesting indeed. Yeah, and I was wondering at first if maybe like the girl disappearing by the pool had something to do with like bodies in the water or whatever, but I really like that it seemed to focus more on like this 10th like missing girl, and that she has something to do with sort of like this infinite underground school loop and like all the things happening to begin with. I'm intrigued. I hope there's some sort of follow-up for this, but at the same time I almost like it better left to the imagination.
An interesting note is I don't think this is currently working at the moment, but there used to be the thing on this page where randomly, as you were going through, it would sort of whisper hello in your ear.
And?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. There was a thing where randomly, as you were going...
Yeah, it would whisper hello into your ear.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Well, spooky sound. I don't think it's working currently. I was sort of tense for it as we were going through.
Oh, that's why you mentioned the audio thing.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a shame. All right. Well, that really solidly fit in our time frame. It was pretty good. I'm going to give it, I don't know, I'll give it a 9 out of 10, I think. What about you?
You know what I'm saying.
All right, 9 out of 10. Let us read some comments now?
Yeah, let's see these comments. What will they say?
Good. I hope there's a whole bunch of them.
That's a good amount.
All right. Let's start with, oh my god, Crowcat made it in under the wire 32 minutes ago. Edited, too. All right. Crowcat, 3 Yellow Arrows, says, ooh, that Devil Game creepypasta was really good. And so October ends, and from it, November is born. As musical artist Nelward once said in his hit song Seasons, November's promise is following you all the time.
Exactly.
Not sure what that means, but thank you.
I know what it means.
Alright, what does it mean then, smart guy? Go ahead, explain it to the class.
It's something you have to figure out for yourself.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Shut the fuck up!
Authors be like, yeah, I understood the message, the symbolism. Oh, really? What was it? Googles. Shythalia says...
Absolute rejection. Pariah.
Oh, I thought we were done.
Shoot style. Air Force.
Shoot style Air Force?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I didn't even know you knew what Air Forces were. I didn't think you were a shoe guy.
I stole it from My Hero Academia. What does it mean?
Oh, it's just a type of Nike shoe. Shythalia says, but why can you summon the devil in a church? Aren't churches holy grounds? Well, that's why you have to commit a sacrament in the church, idiot.
You have to make it
like,
good. You want it to be like a little bit vulnerable. You just want it to be like good enough that you can't like come get you.
You have to negate the consecration,
but only a little bit.
Yeah. Anomalous Writer says. An anomalous writer, our dearest editor, says, the month of pasta a la crepes has unfortunately come to an end. The 11-month wait begins! Also, very curious in the hints of SCP Pandemic playthrough. Smile.
They couldn't have a vote on to change the name of that to SCP-5K. Maybe if you're involved at all, go check it out.
We were going to do it this week, but then things came up.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's...
Matters arose.
Hopefully soon. I really, really, really want to do it with Tan.
Excuse me.
Oh my god, shut up. Rat King the Great says, these are always great episodes. Thank you, Rat King the Great. That was very nice of you.
Thank you so much.
Alright, well, absolute rejection. No, you know what? Absolute acceptance. Messiah. Okay. What do you think about that?
Why do I need to accept what? Why is there, like...
Get accepted. I've accepted all of you.
Thank you. Now that I'm all accepted, there's nothing to keep my atoms connected. Help.
Comedy Man Kelp says, the devil game? I've been playing a devil game for the past 10 years, and it's called Marriage. Check, please!
Very comedy man indeed.
I'm the only person who thinks that's funny, but it really got me. The devil game? I've been playing a devil game for the past 10 years, and it's called Marriage. Check, please! Alright, I gotta stop myself. Sobek writes in, like, some Zalgo text, great episode, guys. Already looking forward to the next creepypasta special. Thank you, Sobek. Very cool. Shout out to Sobek for being the only guy who listened to my Pretending to be People recommendation and for being one of the top Aetheral Space readers. This guy's like a double Chad. Just so you know. So, guys, you need to step it up and be on Sobek's level. Steve-O-esque says, I've never played Morrowind, but isn't that just normal Morrowind? Is it, Tan?
Maybe. I've also never played Morrowind.
Are you kidding me? That seems like... You literally come across me as one of those guys that played Morrowind way too much as a kid.
Never played it.
Really?
I just absorbed the energy from it.
I guess so. You must have watched a lot of YouTubers play it.
Never. I don't think I've seen...
Wow.
I don't think I've actually ever seen gameplay of it, even.
Have I played more Morrowind than you? I've played like 2
I've seen
hours
gameplay of Oblivion. But that's it.
Damn. Oh, that's what I was thinking of, Oblivion. The whole time we were reading that, I was imagining Oblivion. Maybe I haven't played Morrowind. Meep Meep says...
Have you heard of the High Elves?
Meep Meep says, why hello, Tanned Leather and Doorknob. I am slightly new here, and I've been binge-watching your audio for a while now. Possibly a month, and I'm only at the 70s. So unfortunately, no password if you had created one, that is, with that. You two have a nice day while I catch up. I think I was on the interview with Quantum.
Thank you.
Lastly,
it makes me very happy when we've got somebody who's like been going through them, because it means that we've been doing something right, because you've been willing to sit through so much of this fucking shit. Yeah,
because I always worry. I always tell people when I tell my friends about it, I'm like, don't start at the beginning. Start at, like, have another bite, Walter. Go on from there. I don't know. It really does.
That's so late. Have another bite, Walter, is so late in.
I know, but that's like one of our best
episodes. I think it's like the first good one.
Oh, no. I just tell them to start with that, and then if they like it, I tell them to go from there.
Have another bite, Slipping Jimmy.
They're just mixing so many memes. It's incomprehensible. We haven't watched.
You'll never change.
That's the only reason you have to watch. That's the only reason you have to watch from the beginning, is to understand the incomprehensible blending of like memes.
Yeah, and even then, it's not a sure thing, because we will reference things that have happened off the podcast, so there's no way to get it.
I wonder if there'll be people in a case study years from now who study us as like, all right, so here's the thing, right? Like we meme way more than normal people talk. Like, when I go to work, like when I talk and when I play with my coworkers, I don't meme. I just talk like a normal person.
Save it for this.
But the other day I was playing Among Us and I did a meme like we would have, and someone was like, "Was that a meme? We are all adults here. We do not talk like that."
And in response, like, yo, okay, I pull up.
Well, what I said was, it was probably, to be fair, it was an awful meme. We were playing Among Us together, and we went to Polis, and I said, I took the walk to Polis. That was my meme.
And then he said that, and you went, okay, I pull up.
Yeah, I did not. But it's very weird, because like I only talk this way around you and some of my other internet friends. Like, that's not how I talk in real life.
Personas.
So sometimes I listen back to the podcast, and I'm like, what the fuck am I on about? It's just like, it's verbal vomit sometimes, you know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
Yeah, we say, neither of us understanding what the other is saying.
The hedgehog's dilemma.
What's the hedgehog's dilemma?
So you can't get close to
hurting someone?
Exactly.
Damn.
I'm just like Shinji.
I love how
apart from that one
I asked the question and then answered it in the same sentence. I'm just like Shinji, except for that one problematic bit, because I don't want to get cancelled.
I didn't do that in my version.
That is always a weird thing, because, you know, everyone has their own limits on, like, what they're willing to handle. So, like, sometimes I feel like I have to recommend something, and then I have to be overly cautious with warnings. But only online. I never feel like I have to do that in real life. But, like, online with people, I feel like I have to be like, well, just so you know, like, I can't recommend Berserk to anyone without being like, by the way, don't read Berserk if you have any issues with anything ever.
Yeah.
Where was I in this comment again?
You were telling me some shit about, I think we actually finished the comment and then we just started talking about related matters.
Yes! Yeah, we have to read JT's, that's what it is.
Okay.
JTKC, last comment says, no! Can't wait for the Discovering SCP podcast to read SCPs again. Very cringe. But it's been fun taking a break and reading different stuff. Overall, I give this episode a 41 out of 10 on the Darnell scale. 1 bonus star for every day in October. That's pretty good. Man, I'm going to miss October. I honestly am not a fan of the winter at all, so I'm not looking forward to like the next 3 to 4 months whatsoever. It's going to get really cold. How are you going to cope, Tim?
Well, it's already pretty cold here, but I just sort of adjust my body temperature to compensate.
You live kind of in the country where you're at, right?
Yeah.
Do country people in England also do like
Country
bonfires
girls,
and
mate, do.
s'mores? Jeez, I was gonna say, do you guys also do like bonfire parties?
We do, yeah,
like-
but I don't go to them because I'm a little shut-in man. It's firework night tonight, though. I think at least.
Have you tried not being a shut-in man and meeting with some people, meeting new people, meeting?
Put him on the bonfire. This guy's
dreams,
pissing me off.
Meeting your new best friend,
Hey,
saving your game at the
You
bonfire.
can play the
getting your
role
ass
of Guy
tossed back.
Fawkes.
What?
You
What
don't
does
know
that
we-
mean?
You don't know what we do to him?
Being burned alive?
Yeah. We'll do it to you, too.
Why? I love bonfire parties. I love making s'mores and cooking hot dogs and making memories. Those sweet. That's the only good part of fall and winter, actually. But that's really more of a fall thing than a winter thing, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's over too.
like a Fall Guy.
I am Fall Guy. And I
I
will be
am.
crown.
Fall Guy.
Okay. This is literally complete nonsense.
Yeah, this is AI generated. It's gone on too long.
This is how you know we don't deserve a podcast. This is why every podcast has 3 white
Okay,
guys
up or
instead of 3
down.
white guys. We're like an infinite feedback loop. It won't stop. We have to end the episode now. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Bye.